popped it, popped it, popped it.
Schon bald weiß jeder in dieser Stadt, wie es ist, in einer Welt zu leben. Ohne Power. Ohne Mitleid. Ohne Spider-Man.
Mr. Jamie Foxx.
Brother, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You have such a great look. Look at this.
Thank you.
Great. Kris Kringle.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I do like to give gifts, so that is my MO.
You're without a Santa Claus.
Can you talk a little bit about the evolution of this character, though? Because I feel like Electro, obviously beloved villain.
Yeah.
Have you been sort of researching or looking at the comments to see what people are saying about your portrayal of him so far?
Well, I don't look at blogs or anything like that. That's whatever. Blogs, I always tell artists, if you look at blogs, you'll start to change who you are. And I've seen people do that. But I will say this, just putting Electro together, putting Max Dillon together was a journey, because I knew that Max, used to be, he was married at one point, father left, wife leaves. So you see that he's in this dark hole, mom doting over him the whole time. And even in our story where it's his birthday and nobody remembers it. Those are the type of building blocks in any movie that it's the setup. Something is gonna happen. Either he's gonna be incredible or incredibly bad.
Peter Parker, Harry Osborn, das wird dich interessieren. DsCorp hat dich observieren lassen. Wieso? Genau, das ist die Frage des Tages.
Can you just talk a little bit about how Harry Osborn is more modern in this movie compared to sort of past perceptions of him?
Yeah, absolutely. This is The Amazing Spider-Man takes place today. It doesn't take place 10 years ago, and it doesn't take place 50 years ago. So quite simply, it was my job to figure out where Harry Osborn would exist in today's world, in today's New York City, almost trust fund baby culture. And he's the kind of person that uses his money and his material possessions to he relies on them. He tries to buy his happiness.
But he obviously has a strained relationship with Peter Parker. How does it differ in this film?
Yeah, well, it's completely different. In this film, Peter and Harry are childhood friends that haven't seen each other in a very long time. And he comes back, Harry's been off at private school, and he comes back, and they're reunited. And, so Harry has allegiances to Peter as his friend, but he also has allegiances to his father and to DsCorp as the heir apparent of DsCorp. And also Harry needs things from Spider-Man almost as much as he needs things from Peter. So in that way, it's a very dynamic relationship.
Was today the first day that you saw the footage of Times Square and everything, or have you seen?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, and it's amazing what Marc Webb has done to paint on a canvas is so broad.
Scott Pierce from Moviepilot.
Scott Pierce from Moviepilot.
Oh my
Yes.
God!
Yes.
I've been wanting to meet you for so long.
It is very, very nice to meet you.
It's amazing to meet you.
Thank
Where are you from, Scott? Let me do the interview. Let's talk about Spider-Man for a second.
I am obviously from Germany.
You're obviously from Germany. Why are all the German people that I've spoken to, they have no accents?
We just learn how to get rid of it. We adapt.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Well,
now I'll give the interview to you.
Thank you very much. Obviously, with the first movie, you had to sort of establish this origin story. Mm-hmm. What was the biggest sort of hurdle for the second one?
We felt like we got cut loose. It was great because the origin story, I felt it was really important to establish a new world for Spider-Man. Simply because the other movies were so close, I had a little bit of a different idea and a different rule system for the world that we were creating. But in this movie, we come out of the gates with enormous action. Spider-Man is really good at being Spider-Man, and he's loving being Spider-Man. And that is something, there's no sort of emotional conflict for him initially, or out of the gate anyway. It's just fun for him. And the first 20 minutes of the movie are pure, hard, unadulterated, really fun action.
Was ich daran liebe, Spider-Man zu sein? Einfach alles.
How true is it that he was watching Pharrell's old music videos to sort of determine that swagger?
Yeah, it's true. Andrew spent some time, he told me, I only found this out recently, he spent some time studying, not just watching, but studying Pharrell's movements in the first movie to get, to help inform how Spider-Man moved with that lithe sort of very cool swagger. And I don't think Pharrell is very conscious of the way he moves, but there's something beautiful in the way he moves, and I think Andrew really copped to that and like to follow that.
Have you been staying offline? Like, are you reading the comments about what people are saying, or are you?
I try not to, you know. My parents do, and they like to chime in and let me know things. But you know, when I'm alone and you know, with my wife, it's just about living my life and doing the work and working on whatever's next and trying to keep my feet on the ground.
Well, I'm really excited to see the final product. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Really
All
nice
right, man.
Was ist das alles?
Die Zukunft.
Wir können die Welt im wahrsten Sinne verändern. Was ist mit Peter?
Nicht jeder hat ein Happy End.